Morning, you're listening to 92.7 Arrow FM, and this is the Nothing Personal Show with Nikki King. And good morning to you. It's a lovely day. We're sponsored by Wairarapa Osteopathy and Fuzzbox Designs. And Wairarapa Osteopathy, if you've got any aches and pains, you can pop down there and go see Jane and get those things sorted out. We're part of the Women in Business Facebook group, which is a group of women on Facebook, obviously, who network together about their businesses. And if you want to join that, you just need to hop over to Wairarapa Women in Business. Let us answer the few little questions, because they're just we don't let anyone outside of Wairarapa in, because we're a little bit of an exclusive group. So you need to answer those questions. You need to tell us what your business is and what you hope to get out of it and where you're based. And then when you answer those questions, I will have a look at your application and let you into the group. And there's lots and lots of things to talk about. We all network together and we all promote each other's events and businesses. Well, this morning it's very, very exciting, because I've got 3 people in the studio this morning, and they're all from the... You might have seen this event about. It's the block party. Now, I'm really excited about this because they sent me some things to sort of look at before the show started. And I'll let the people introduce themselves to you. So over to you, Madeline. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. Yeah, my name is Madeline Slavic, and I work part-time at Wairarapa, and this is the second block party that we've put together and kind of led with everyone around the block. So here with me is Jade Waitford from Tepa Tuki Tuki and Ian Chapman representing both King Street Artworks and Con Art. So the whole arts quarter is now open.
Wow.
And yeah, so that's really the kind of heart, I think, of the party. Last year when we had the first block party last October, Con Art wasn't quite open yet. They opened in December.
That's right, December.
Yeah, and the block party was same time last year, October. So I'm glad everybody's open. And Tepa Tuki is kind of really fully coming together now and opening up soon. And so it's just going to be a great day all around the block. But the kind of heart of it is there at the corner of Bruce and Queen Street with the 4 groups coming together and kind of leading this event together with the library and the archive also.
Wow, it's going to be really exciting. I think it's really cool that everything seems to be gravitating to a quarter. I think that's because I'm an artist myself. Well, I'm a musician. It is a bit art. And it's really cool to have like a quarter up there. And these block parties is a way to highlight it to the Masterton people. Would you agree?
Well, yeah, to everyone, but yeah, it is part of M-Town.
M-Town, yeah, M-Town. Good old name. I actually think we should get some badges with M-Town on. I'm from M-Town, because I'm proud to be a Mastertonian now. I used to be a Cartertonian for 9 years, but now I'm in Maston, so I'm part of the community.
I live literally between the two on Norfolk Road, so I kind of go between the two, because I also lead Y-Word, which is kind of Carterton-based.
I've seen that, yeah.
Wairarapa, which is obviously Masterton, but obviously we both serve the whole Wairarapa. But M-Town is really coming together, I feel, in the past. I've been here 6 years, and I really feel like in the past 2, to me, there have been a lot more interesting things going on for me anyway. I'll speak for myself as an individual.
Yeah. Well, I've spoken to a few visitors to the town, and they've been away for quite a few years. Decades, in fact, and they were quite surprised at how cosmopolitan Marston's become. Really.
Yes.
It's not really a little backwater town anymore. It's becoming quite, a place to go. It's a destination now, and the fact that we've got all these artistic things happening at the end of, or the north end of Marston is really exciting for not just Marston, but the Wairarapa.
Exactly.
It's a go-to place now for those sort of things. And we've got, I think, per capita more artists than anywhere else in New Zealand. So, it's now just putting it all together and getting those artists known.
Exactly, that's the thing, isn't it? And we've got, got some really good resources. Like King Street Artworks is just a fabulous resource, because you're involved with that as well, aren't you?
Yeah, so I'm the coordinator of King Street there. I've been there for 21 years now, so if people don't realise what that is, it's...
Yay, Ian!
Yeah, so we are a community art workshop, and we're focusing on the mental health and the well-being of the community by providing an art activity space. And art is important. but we also need to acknowledge the fact that having a place to go and connect is also important for people.
Yes,
it reduces
it is.
isolation and the problems that are caused by isolation, depression, and anxiety, those sort of things.
Yeah.
So, it's a very, very, very special place. It's supported by or funded primarily by the DHB, and to have a DHB that's got such vision is quite remarkable, really.
Yeah, no, my boy has been attending King Street Artworks, and it's been very interesting. He got his hands on the clay. I didn't think it would be clay that he went for, but he did go for clay. And it's quite interesting because if I go down there with him because he's under 16, if he's got something that he's not talking to me about, if he gets his hands on the clay, it's quite easy to pick his brains and talk to him about it because he gets into this whole sort of creative thing. So it's been really valuable for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're so lucky to have someone like Aratoy right over the road.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a high grade exhibition space that we have an annual show there every year. The show they've got at the moment is just astounding. The Minkisi show, which is, I'm sure Madeline will talk about later on. It's one of my favourite shows I've ever seen there.
Whoa.
Brought our hero poster. Yeah, there you go. That's just one of the 100 African objects, sculptures, masks on display from 10 African countries. So it's free and it's there till November 25th. So if you haven't seen it, stop in, please.
That's a fabulous poster. The art just takes it away, doesn't it? So, Jade, do you want to tell me a bit about sorry, what was it?
Te pā tuki tuki.
Te pā tuki tuki, yes. I forgot the te pā bit. Would you like to tell me about what that space is?
Sure, kia ora, Nikki.
Kia ora.
Te pā tuki tuki, or Wairarapa, is it's a space, a hub where people can come to experience making Māori taonga. Taonga like patu, ko whaiwhai is where we start with that, where they learn the art of reading the patterns of nature and painting them. Those are the sorts of things you'd see at the marae and on our whare. And also just everything to do with Māori art from our healing practices with rongoā, which uses nature but also other means, and also right through to painting and carving and weaving. So it's just a little space that we've been really fortunate to be granted by the local Masterton Trustlands Trust and supported by Masterton District Council, who have been helping us along to provide the space. We think that it's quite a niche market as far as offering a platform for our Māori community to express who they are,
Yes.
and also to find who they are.
Yes.
Yeah, and so we're really excited that so many people come through the front, the back, and all the ways through to our space.
It's true.
And they just bring so much joy to the work. And we're really excited to be part of the Arts Quarter and also supporting the block party.
Yeah, because you were up on the corner by the Con Art, is that right?
Correct.
Yeah, because I've seen the
Yeah.
space sort of taking shape and I've been like, oh, that's interesting. So can you just drop in there?
Well, our opening hours are varied at the moment, but from next week onwards, it'll be set between Tuesday and Friday. And this Saturday morning at 7 a.m, before the block party starts, we'll be having an unveiling he hura pari, where we unveil our carved entrance.
Wow.
So it's a a new fresh way for us to come into spring and get ready for a wonderful summer.
Wow, so that's exciting. Another exciting part just before the block party happens. Wow, cool.
Yeah,
And-
just so everyone's clear that it just helps to say it was where the garden centre used to be.
Yes, I remember the garden centre.
Sorry, I know, but it is helpful. It's just
that's right.
The old Fiora building is now the Park Street Health Centre.
Yes.
And they're having an open day as part of the block party. But last year, Te Pa Tuki Tuki was already open and had great activities. They made eco slime.
Wow.
There was a carving demonstration by Wayne Pitau and a pottery wheel demo by Sam Ludden. And Sam and Wayne are back this year too, which is really cool. And then a really other great part of the party is the new Open Air Life, which is also opening on the block party day.
Yeah.
It's a kind of short-term installation project run by Siv Feierstadt, who's Featherston-based, and she has lots of activities going from Saturday till mid-November, November 15th, I think. So she and Joe Patangaroa are leading a riverbank walk.
Wow.
So after the unveiling at 7, we have the riverbank walk along the Waipua at 8:30. You do have to register for that.
Right.
So do go to the Facebook event page of, just type in Block Party 2018 in your Facebook browser, and it should pop up first up, and go through. There's a lot of activities. There are 40 activities around
this
the
list.
block.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, my head is full of all these details. So I don't know how clearly I'll be able to actually say them out loud. But, so 7 o'clock is the unveiling, 8:30 is the riverbank walk, and it opens the block party opens officially with Mayor Lynn Patterson and Hawani Paku kicking it off at the Carnart Lawn at 10 o'clock. There'll be live music at Carnart Lawn pretty much all day long. Also in the Aratoi Courtyard pretty much all day long. And we're closing Queen Street, so everybody please be aware. Queen Street will be closed just the little block from the library to ASB Bank. It's closed from 7 a.m. until 2 p.m.
Wow.
So keep that in mind. If you're in and about, you still will be able to get to the supermarket and to the library using Park Street and King Street. So
because you can go around.
Yeah, it's not a biggie, but just so you know. But in the middle of Queen Street, the reason why we're closing it is Jonas Kuku will be there with at least 50 musical instruments. He'll have a huge kind of magic carpet on the street, and kids and everybody can play music together, and we have lots of food trucks.
Wow! So
coming.
that's just an excuse to get up there yourself, get some different foods, and
I mean, in a way, this is a really. I mean, it sounds like 40 events. It sounds like a huge party, but at the same time, it's really who we are. King Street is doing a steampunk workshop. Tepa is doing what they do, carving, weaving. They're making reusable kete on the day, a lovely activity. Aratoi's working along with our Minkisi show. People can make a mask after viewing the show, and kids can have special access to our collections. We're giving two free tours for kids at 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. And again, you have to book for that first. So we're all doing what we do every day.
But it's just all happening together.
And it's all happening together.
In sort of a little, like a festival almost, really, of art.
Yeah.
And community.
And just the shops. I mean, actually, if you think about our block, really, it's pretty amazing of what's there.
It is, yeah.
4 arts groups, 2 banks, 2 museums, a barbershop, a hair salon, a bowling alley, like supermarket, several cafes. We have Honduran food at Don Luciano. We're kind of sneaking in King Street into this block because they're such a cool block. With Don Luciano is going to have live music and a coffee cart. The hub is going to be open, kind of an open day with free sessions if you'd like to come in. And they've created at the last minute a block party bingo game.
Oh, nice.
Where you can go around with your cards and answer the questions, and if you return it back, you get a free 1-week membership, I think it is. And then across the street at the Resource Center, they have they're going to have a huge display of items, and every Saturday they have a lovely Shar-Pei dog. That Chinese lion dog. It's adorable, and it's there on Saturdays only, so it's become a little block party mascot.
That's cool.
You'll have to get an orange bow. Or a collar.
That would be cool. I have little orange shoes. I'm not quite sure what to do with these, but I couldn't resist them, so they'll be part of the party somehow.
Oh, they're cool, aren't they?
Yeah.
You could have to find the shoes competition. You could place it somewhere on somebody's.
Where are the shoes?
Yeah, which activity are the shoes
hunt.
at? So everybody goes to every one, and they could win something. That could be a good thing. No. So there's lots of streets involved here. Just looking at this list. Bruce Street, Dixon Street, Park Street, Queen Street, King Street, and then things happening around the brass band are there.
The brass band are going to come and kind of open it up with Lynn Patterson and Hawani Paku, and then they'll all walk around the block together as a kind of opening up.
Yeah, you've got a march.
Yeah,
that's what brass bands do, eh?
It reminds me of Chinese New Year? Because I used to live in Hong Kong, and when they would open up festivals, or like when a new shop opened, you would have the celebrities or your town, important people, or neighborhood leaders or such come and celebrate it together with not a brass band, but Chinese kind of traditional band, if you want to say.
Yeah, I used to be. So, I used to be in the brass band many moons ago.
Did you?
I was the soprano cornet player, so I used to play the smallest trumpet in the band. So I did that for a little while. And I know the brass band, if you're ever interested in playing for the brass band, they're always keen to have players, and you don't have to have an instrument. They provide you with one, so and you can learn at any age. So I'm just giving them a little bit of a shout, because I know they always need players.
Buzz will be there.
Yeah, Buzz is actually brass band. He's a bit of a brass band celebrity. It's quite good that they've got Buzz Newton there. I remember doing a poster for Palmerston North Brass Band when they had him as a guest player. He goes around and does guests. He's a very good, I think he's a euphonium player. He's a very good player anyway. Cool. Known across the brass band world. So brass band's always good to hear. Get yourself out for the opening, because the big sound is really cool. Big brass band sound.
Well, we'll only have an ensemble. So
but it's still a big.
Be the whole,
any brass is a big sound.
I'm calling it the big brass bang. I'm
going to tell you a little story now. I was at the Battle of the Bands at the weekend with my band Spank, and we got through to the semi-finals. We're going to the semi-finals. It's very exciting. And what makes it more exciting is our new guitarist, my son. He's only played 2 gigs ever. So, it was really big, immense achievement for him to go
where
through.
Are the semi-finals?
Valhalla in Wellington.
Okay.
So, and the guy, or the sound guy, is saying to me, this is how big brass is. He says, I don't need to mic you up, because you'll just be loud enough anyway. So, you could actually blow quite loud with a trumpet. Not parents' favourite learning instrument for children, let me tell you, because they're very loud. But pretty cool. So I'd like to sort of ask you a bit more about con art, Ian, because we all saw the containers popping up there. Yeah. So what is happening in con art?
Well, con art is an initiative actually supported by the Marston Trustlands Trust.
Yep.
And they've been fantastic. They basically paid for the containers to go on there. They recognised that end of town was it's a little bit low energy, and they thought, well, how are we going to get this land looking great and get people using it properly? So they talked to some artists about 2 years ago. They asked us to come together and just to talk about their ideas, and we formed a committee and basically started the ball rolling with having the T-shaped gallery space, which is the 2 containers on the far wall towards our Aratoya, and then 3 other containers which are workshop spaces, studio spaces. 2 of them are lined and occupied on a 4-weekly basis, so people can go along and see artists in action, talk to the artists and see how they're doing it, and buy from the artists, of course, as well. And we're doing really well. We have new work in the gallery every 4 weeks. We call it a block, and we're into block 11 now, and just the stuff's rocking out the door. Visitors were increasing daily now with the summer coming along, and we're getting a lot of national and international visitors coming through. And it's just something that draws attention. Really bright.
Well, they are.
And that green space there too is fantastic. And we have music or open mic music sessions every Sunday.
Yes.
Well, during summer it'll be every Sunday. It's kind of once a month at the moment, usually the last Sunday of the month. Really a good time to go along and listen to music, and if you
that's right.
want to play, you're welcome to do so as well. So this weekend, though, we're going to, well, as I said, as Madeline said about the steampunk, King Street's doing a steampunk workshop, basically making little ray guns and fascinators and all sorts of little really wonderful little gadgets. And we're looking kind of forward because we've got a steampunk ball in December, and people can start building their costumes up for that if they want to come along to that. And at Connor, we obviously are having the music happening all day, but there are 6 artists going to be having 6 canvases each. We get 20 minutes each on each canvas, and then it gets passed on to the next artist.
Oh, that sounds fun.
So it's a bit of a challenge because some people can be quite precious about their work. And
Isn't it 8?
No, I don't think it's going to be 8.
Oh, okay.
There's not enough time in the day for 8. I don't think
no,
so.
I was told 8, so I'll change it to 6.
I think it's 6.
Cool.
Yeah. So Yeah.
And everybody has different styles, isn't it? So it'd be interesting how that comes together.
Well, that's right. Styles and also kind of like totems, symbols that we use all the time. So obviously, I'll do the robots. So not that I'm going to do robots in this one. I'm just changing my mind on that one. But so it's going to be quite interesting because we're all, artists are all very unique in respect to their kind of their styles and their egos. And so we've got to just kind of let go and have fun with this one. And I'm looking forward to it as well. So I'll be present down in Connor, and Linda Tilliard will be running the steampunk workshop at King Street.
Oh, that would be fun.
And it is a free workshop, of course. You just come along and within an hour you'll have something.
Yeah.
Even less probably. It's going to be a great little workshop.
Because steampunk's it's becoming quite a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly has. There's the Time Travellers Ball in Featherston earlier in the year, and that's pretty much a dress-up ball, not so much necessarily steampunk, but that's the kind of idea. It's a fundraiser for King Street, but we thought, actually, let's start the ball rolling by having workshops. And we have had youth here, which, here at King Street earlier this year that did steampunk artworks, which are on show at Aratoi over the weekend, and that show opens on Friday, this Friday.
Yeah.
So that's all the youth, or 2 youth from most colleges in the Wairarapa come along, did a 3-day workshop, created some fantastic steampunk stuff, and that'll be on show at Aratoi.
Yeah, we've had our eye on that as a family because we're all into tech and sort of into old things as well. Steampunk's been going for quite a lot. It's been a movement, hasn't it?
It's certainly gained ground in recent years.
Yeah.
And you can't quite pin it down what it means, because it means different things to
No, I know that, because it used to be like they used to build years and years ago, when it was before we had kids, so it must have been 16 years ago. We were looking at people who were making computers out of typewriters and using the typewriter interface to make a computer. They're quite fascinating. We had a bit of a fascination in steampunk a few years ago, both myself and my husband. And an interesting fact is that the band that was the predecessor of Spank, we had a small band that came together there. We were called Wanglertron, and we were going to be a steampunk band. And we were going to have a Wanglertron, which was going to be a steampunk something in the stage show. So there you go. And that came from a font fail where we somewhere up in Palmerston North, so which is completely random, but there you go. But yeah, that's fascinating, steampunk, and there's a movement in that whole costume thing, because Featherston did the Time Travellers Ball, didn't they? Yeah, so that's quite interesting. And we're
kind of saying it's steampunk theme, but if you want to come just with a brooch on, that's fine.
Yeah,
because some people don't want to dress up, and I get that too. Those people.
Just have the accessories and build the art.
Yeah,
and
so you can
like
start this Saturday. That's the point. Come alongside, and you may want to go full costume, or you may just want to make a badge
or a hat,
fascinator.
Yeah, that sounds cool. So what activities have we got going on in your space?
Sure. So at Te Pātukituki we'll be having the same as last year, Wayne Pito giving carving demonstrations.
Yep.
And joining him will be myself running a waka making workshop.
Oh, cool.
And so people can come along and carve a waka out of a kōrari, which is a stalk from a harakeke plant. And it's sort of bringing back the beginning stages of carving. Wayne's great-grandfather carved with a pocket knife, and he was the main carver of Te Ore Marae.
Wow.
And so we thought we'd just revive that a little bit and bring that back in. So there'll be, it's a free workshop. It'll be a fun one, and it's really simple. And what we're going to do with the little waka is put a little sail on them and sail them down the Robinson Creek afterwards, when Siv comes through with her open air life project, the Friluftsliv project that she's opening, and the headquarters are at Te Pātukituki, so we've been hosting her project all year.
Yep.
And just watching it grow and change, and that project's really basically around connecting our local people to their local trees and the local environment, because there's quite a lot of green belts through Masterton.
Yes.
Which makes it such a beautiful place, and so we're excited about that with the Waka Kōrari workshop. Also, we'll be having Sam Ludden there, a ceramic artist from Victoria Street, who's currently working on his Y project for...
Oh, that's interesting.
Very interesting.
I actually had a meeting with him the other week and I got a sneak peek.
Oh, yeah.
It's it is fantastic. That is going to be a fantastic exhibition,
Yes.
let me
Well,
tell you.
Aaron Toy's so excited.
Yes.
And he's such a lovely guy.
He is. He is. I've really been enjoying his kōrero on Facebook. He's quite engaged in the waterways around
Yes.
Wairarapa.
Yeah, he's very passionate about that. We
Yeah.
spoke a lot about that,
Yeah. So he'll be bringing, the whānau and the community will be able to have a little sneak peek of what's to come with the Y project. And he'll be having some pieces from that displayed while he's throwing clay on the wheel and making a big mess in his corner.
Cool.
But we're really looking forward to that. And also, of course, there'll be our community weaving mat where we'll have some of our local weavers weaving kete. These are waikawa baskets that are reusable
cool.
for shopping, large ones, and obviously when you're done, and they last for years, but when you're done you can compost them.
Wow,
And,
that's the ultimate reusable bag.
It is the ultimate reusable one that you can go to your compost and you just make another one, trim your flax plant back and you're away.
And flax is so prolific.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and the Wairarapa was very well known for their weaving, particularly around Gordon Street area. There was a pa there, Hiona Pa, that were famous weavers, and many people would travel to come and learn, and also genealogy people they were too. So that's it's sort of just remembering that through the Māori arts, but also offering it up again and bringing it up again for the community to help them remember their place here in the Wairarapa. It's something to celebrate, and we love celebrating with people who they are, their identity through the creative mediums of Māori art. Yeah.
Everybody needs to express themselves through something creative. I think lots of people think they're not creative until they start doing it, don't they? You know, and it's like with the clay. Coming back to that, my boy is very hands-on and creative. Creates these weird things out of clay, you know, it's coming from his head, and he's expressing who he is, what's coming out, and I can understand, getting back to those things and creating who you are and how you express yourself through those arts. And people are into doing creative things in their past. They might engage with this and it become a hobby.
Yes.
Which would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yes,
really?
Yeah.
Cool.
And also it can become like a viable trade, and we really promote art as a viable trade in the Arts Quarter.
The kite, get everybody getting one of those bags for the supermarket.
Yeah.
Better than those, even the plastic ones they're giving away that you can reuse, and the other ones, because they're, I keep forgetting those. And you have your kitty in your bag in your car. You can take it out, take it back in again.
It's remembering to take them in.
I know. I get in the shop. I'm like, you get so trained to know that they're going to be there. So this is going to be a fabulous event. We've got all sorts of things going on.
Maybe I'll take that little segue from the bag to say that we'll. Masterton Art Club is also joining in. They're one of the organizing teams of behind this event, and they'll be having an art sale at the Dixon Street Trust House Education Center. The wool shed next door will be free all day with free shearing demonstrations and free entry for the family, and also a free bouncy castle on Dixon Street at
that's good.
at the Memorial Stadium.
Yep.
And then the Rose Cottage and Queen Elizabeth Park at the corner of Dixon and Park. They're having an open day for people to come in. So that's called Come Sew With Me at the Rose Cottage.
We had Heather on our show a few weeks ago.
Come Sew With Me has made 50 of these very simple cotton tote bags.
Yep.
And we'll be printing from manhole covers.
Oh, I've
and
seen
drain
that.
covers
I've seen
on Queen Street. So Masterton Art Club is handling that for us.
So what a unique piece of Masterton street art that is.
And and it's not only that, though. The Master Bowl, which is participating, there'll be an art sale at Master Bowl too.
Yep.
Master Bowl used to be the site of J.C. Ewington Foundry.
Yep.
And some of those original manhole covers made by Ewington, J.C. Ewington, which the Wairarapa Archive has rescued and saved from demolition or crunching up, whatever you do with a manhole
melting
cover.
them down.
But we'll be printing from those old manhole covers onto these bags. So street printing with ink, and then you place it down and you can have your
Oh,
bag.
that's fabulous.
So
I'm
it's
going to
a
have to
free
come up.
event, or please give Koha if you'd like to. That's cool. So big shout out to Masterton Art Club. And just so you know, a lot of this information is on the Facebook page.
Yes.
It will be printed in the midweek on Wednesday.
Yes.
So look out for your midweek on that day. There'll be all the activities listed. Hopefully I'll get them all right because things are a bit fluid.
Yep.
But we're all to also save on paper. We're having the whole complete map on a QR code.
Oh, wow.
So it'll be a QR code where you can scan on your phone and the map will come up and you can walk around like you usually do with your phone and looking at all the information on your phone as you walk around the block
Yeah.
and enjoy
Get me
the day.
directions.
So you don't have to keep flipping around a million pieces of paper.
Get me directions to this stall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that-
we have lots of little cards at cafes and Aerotoy and supermarkets and different places. So pick those up if you'd like. I did splurge and make a few cards.
And just venture out. Just come up to the block.
Yeah,
On
just come.
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock till 2, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you get yourself up. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to have a break. I'm going to play... I was going to play some Peyton Moretti, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some Yossarian, because... when we did our years ago, do you remember Spank Invites? You might. We had a band called Yossarian from the UK, and they were admiring Ian's robot picture with the light bulb, and I'm going to play the song that they said reminded them of your painting, just for you.
Oh, cool.
So we'll do that. Let's get that going.
One of these days, we'll burn up in the sun. We'll burn up in the sun. One of these days, maybe tomorrow, we'll burn up in the sun. One of these days, what's true will be undone. What's true will be undone. One of these days,
You're listening to 92.7 Arrow FM, and this is the Nothing Personal Show with Nikki King. And this morning we're talking about the block party with Madeline, Jade and Ian. Thank you to Wairarapa Osteopathy for sponsoring our show. And thanks to Jane Burns. Thank you for having a bit of faith in us. And if you can, would you... get my teeth in. We'd be grateful if you support her business. If you've got some aches and pains, osteopathy's good. When my youngest boy was born, he had cranial osteopathy, and that was really helpful to him. It was very relaxing. He used to come back from his session and just collapse in his capsule. So, it's very good for those kind of things. And so we get back to the block party, which is a really, really exciting. I'm a really big supporter of arts. I think art is a really valuable, has a great place in society. So I really love you all to get out to the block party and support this. And you said you want to give a bit of a shout out to Urban Dream Brokerage just when we were chatting then.
Yeah, because Urban Dream Brokerage, which is part of the Our Future Masterton effort, in 2017 it was kind of a trial project, and they really launched a lot of great activities. And their hub was at Te Patuki. They helped out with Paul Edgar Bird's fashion pop-up shop on Queen Street, the Come Sew With Me, the Anna Rutherford Masterton and Me, which was actually part of the block party last year, and she has continued that. She has new series of photos up along the WBS wall, so shout out to WBS for giving us permission to put the photos up there. I actually asked WBS myself, so that was... I was very happy when they said yes. So Anna Rutherford will have a new series up any day now, and she'll be having a show soon at Aratoy too.
Nice.
But Urban Dream Brokerage were really the link with council last year, making sure we had all the permissions necessary. And I have to give a big shout out to the council also, particularly Bailey Peterson has been a great right-hand person putting this event together, and they've provided some core seed funding for what needs to happen at this day. So big thank you to them and to Lynn Patterson for coming along to kick it off. Jeff Walker, the Wairarapa photographer we all love, who has been living in northern Uganda since 2016. I have a tiny little photo. We'll have photos of his from Uganda up in the windows all around the block, with a short little story about life in the village where he is. And he'll be having a show at Aratoy in the Windows Gallery too.
Yeah, and he's a fabulous photographer, isn't he? He's a fabulous photographer.
Yeah.
He took our first, when we did our Slap Up and Mobilist EP, he did our album cover. Very, very good. He's a good friend of Spank, Jeff. Shout out to Jeff if you're listening over
Jeff.
There in Uganda.
Yeah.
In Odek, I think it is, in Gulu.
Actually, I think the village is called Tigot. I'm
Tigot.
not sure how to say
it is Tigot. Yeah, and we had him on.
That's the name of the exhibition, just so it's clear about what that means.
Yeah, and he was on our Christmas Day show last year. So yeah, we had him live from Gulu, from Tigot.
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. We did it over Skype,
nice.
which was quite cool. So yeah. So get over and support. Have a look at Jeff's work. Jeff's work's always very interesting. He's got interesting play on. He's good with people. He's good.
You'll see details and details of how people are covering their homes with kind of a cow dung mixture to protect it against insects and so lots of information about how people live. Another shout out to Fab Lab Masterton for making these stencils.
They're fabulous, aren't they?
And Jade herself made the motto that we're kind of holding within us for the day. Our togetherness keeps us well. Maybe I'll ask you to say the te reo.
Mā tātou ka whakaora ai tātou. So yeah, it's just about when we recognise that we are all really valuable, and needed and necessary in this community, that we can actually bring a lot of wellness to one another.
Yes, that's a great thing to a great quoted of. If that's right, what I'm saying, I'm probably not. So we've got. Let's have a look what we've got here. We've got the art sale. Wairarapa roller derby car. A roller derby, is that a new thing?
So how a lot of the block party activities have happened is that one of the chiropractors at Park Street Health Center is friends with a member of the derby team. And so we were asking, are there any charity groups that want to have a car wash at Parkview Challenge? Because they were open to having a car wash there. And that team stepped forward. So they're raising money for a tournament up in Taupo later in the year. And so $5 car wash as part of the block party. Come along. A couple of the women will be in their gear.
I had no idea we had a roller derby team here.
And it's just really cool that the event isn't necessarily part of this cover story, but it was great to see a roller skate on the cover. It's like, oh my God.
It's really 80s, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's really cool.
Just like that.
I had a pair like that.
And then the Bottle-O, the liquor shop on Queen Street, they have introduced us to Koi, the new Indian restaurant in Kurapuni.
Yeah, that looks good.
And fingers crossed, I think they'll be having some food cart at the block party in the open lot between the library and Bottle-O, that big open lot.
Oh, that's a good lot there.
Yeah, which will soon be a library extension.
Wow.
Yeah, but they haven't started the build yet, so that's why we can have food carts there, because it's a nice big open space. So we'll have about 6 or 7 food trucks, candy floss, real fruit ice cream, Scoffies is going to be there.
Oh,
with
Scoffies. I've had stuff
they
from
have
Scoffies.
They'll have 2 trucks, so it'll be massively popular, I hear. Real fruit ice cream, candy floss, I think I said. Man Up and Revolution Youth are joining with food. And I'm probably forgetting 1 or 2 groups that are also there. And I'm really happy to... so Bottle-O introduced us to Koi. And then I'm really happy that Max Fish and Chips is having 4 Chinese Mandarin language tutors who are in the
That's interesting,
Wairarapa.
isn't it? That's really
They're
cool.
here in the Wairarapa teaching, basic Chinese language and culture at, I think, mostly primary schools.
Yep.
And so 4 of those tutors will run kind of Chinese cultural activities from 11 to 1 in front of Max. So you can get a Chinese name, you can try on Chinese clothes, you can see musical musical instruments, and so they're doing this, volunteering. Most of us are volunteering our time and our resources to put all this together.
Yep.
So I'm really happy to have that. And then one more thing is at the Wairarapa Archive. So last year for the block party, Gareth Winter, our local taonga, I think I can call him, led a tour around the block telling stories of the history.
Yeah.
For instance, New World Supermarket is the site of the first brewery.
Wow.
Bruce, named after a guy named Bruce. I can't remember his surname, but that's why it's called Bruce Street. Same Bruce as Mount Bruce.
Yep.
And this year, Gareth will be leading behind-the-scenes tours of the archive itself.
Oh, that sounds
so
fabulous.
Every hour, 11, 12, and 1, he'll have a tour. I guess it's for all ages, but maybe more for adults, while the tour at Aratoy is more for kids. So that needs to be booked ahead. Probably call up the archive and just put your name down. And at the library, which is another organizer of this event, they're having a book sale, an arts activity, and kind of games in the little library square beside the library. So really all around the block there'll be something going on. But I just want to say too that it's going to be a normal street day. There isn't going to be, it's not like a professionally organized event coordinating team here. We're putting it together with limited resources. So it's going to be, kind of business as usual at the shops with a lot of extra things going on too. But don't expect like color coordinated T-shirts with hats and huge amounts of balloons flying everywhere and whatnot. So the shops are taking care of their own activities.
Yep.
It's kind of do what you can. Lots of shops on Queen Street, frankly, are one person things.
Yes, that's right.
And so that's why I've invited like the Embroiderers Guild to be in front of Fashion Connection.
Yes, that's quite cool, isn't it?
Which is one woman, Val Persico, is allowed the guild to have a display of an embroidered dollhouse.
Yep.
So they're selling raffle tickets to that. And then Yvonne's is also a one-person shop, the knitwear shop.
Yep.
So Spinners and Weavers will be in front there and kind of connected to their business, but the business person, him or herself, isn't really able to come out onto the street and do anything because they need to run their business. So it's just a way of kind of partnering and having as much happen as we can.
Yeah, this is something here as well. They've got something by the NZ Pacific Studio up at Masterball. They're doing a giant crossword. Is that right?
Yeah. So one of their artists in the past, Marie Potter, who's an Auckland-based artist, multimedia artist, she had this activity where she asked people to talk about their feelings of the Wairarapa and used people's responses and made a kind of giant crossword. And this filled the whole Entice Cafe, the whole Eyesight, Entice, and Aratoy windows in 2016, I think it was. Were covered with this crossword. If you remember, it was red letters on white squares. So we have some of that supply of these cardboard letters that will be used on Master Bowl windows.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
On the day. And New Zealand Pacific Studio, which is in a little bit of a state of transition. They've sold, they've moved out of the premises at Normandale in Mount Bruce and will be working with the local community to find new places where to host a writer or to host a painter. So if somebody has a sleep out and has a studio space, that they would be able and willing to host a painter or somebody who needs that physical space. They have several places already lined up. And so they'll be selling some items that had been in the house, domestic items, to art also that had been donated to the house in the past. And now there isn't really a physical space to keep the art. So they'll be having an art sale in that little bistro area in the kind of parking lot side of Master Bowl. Outdoor area, really cool. So yeah.
So that's in that courtyard where King Street is, it? Yeah. Cool. So there's all sorts of things going on in that little area as well.
Do allow yourself some time, because to really see all this stuff, you really probably do need a couple of hours at least to take the walk and see what's happening. Really looking forward to it. I mean, I think it's going to be a cool day, and
you've got me really excited now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'll have to come up now. And especially, I know William will want to come up and sort of have a look at Sam on his wheel and stuff like that. So, yeah, we'll bring him. And he's my middle boy's really interested in history as well. So it'd be good to take, have a look at some. And the street art. That sounds fabulous, the bags.
Yes.
That's very exciting.
One more thing, the Eyesight is having a kind of competition. If you sign up for their weekly emails of what's going on in the Wairarapa, if you sign up to join that email service, they will give a family fun pass. So free tickets to Pukaha. There are four attractions where you get free entry or prizes or games or free meals or such, and it's valued at $100. So we'll be drawing that at the close.
Oh, nice.
So it opens at Conard at 10 and closes at Aratoy with an afternoon tea at about 2. So you can come in and just chill and see the African art and everything else. We have a lot of youth art at the moment. We have 484, including an art creation by your son.
Yes.
In the Wesley Wing. It's an amazing show, and that closes on Sunday. So Saturday is this weekend is the last weekend to see it. It's annually sponsored by Breadcraft.
Yes.
They've done it for years. It's such a beautiful community show. I love going into that space.
There's lots and lots of art, isn't there? And it's surprising the amount of beautiful art from the kids.
Really do go. And we have... It's funny because at the moment we have that show. We have the steampunk art that Linda Tilliard led with Colleen Douglas Education. It's called Lateral Thoughts. That's 2D and 3D kind of steampunk inspired show. And we have the Lions Club Youth Peace Poster Competition.
Yep.
So all of this youth art at the moment, all at the same time. At the time of the block party. So a lot of, I feel, just like beautiful energy, coming all together.
Is the kids' exhibition still on across this weekend then?
Yeah, it closes Sunday at 4.
Oh, well, there you go. Last chance to go and see the school art
so it's a good
exhibition
time to
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come to the party first. The museum is open till 4. Come to
Yeah.
the party first, and
then go to the gallery. Yeah.
then use your time and go to the show
Well,
after
that's fabulous, though. I think, even like having the King Street art, because my middle boy, he had some stuff in that, his clay, but it's so good for the kids. They feel quite special when they get into a proper art exhibition.
Go to Arator and they treat your work so professionally. So
it's so valuable that kids' art's often thrown and discarded, in a cupboard or a drawer, and you get it out when they're 18. But it's lovely to. I mean, my William had something in that exhibition a few years ago as well, and they get these little invitations to the opening, and it's such a stunning thing to do for kids at an early age to aspire to be artists, and to use their art and have it displayed. I just think it's a fabulous thing to do. So yeah, definitely support. You should always support that one, and the King Street one. There's some fabulous stuff at the King Street one. Cool, and this is just going to be fab.
Just one thing I want to talk. I think Madeline may have been downplaying the event, saying we're not going to have colourful coordinated T-shirts and hats and things. That doesn't mean there hasn't been an awful lot of work put in by Madeline, and we need to congratulate her for this, because I know most of it's over and above her hours that she's paid for.
And she's so passionate.
She is so passionate. And she's driving this really. It's her baby, and congratulations to her, because this is going to be a great weekend for the community. And I just think the energy she's put into it is wonderful.
And I think it will show through. I think this is looking a lot. It seems bigger than last year. Is it bigger?
Oh yeah, we had 25 activities last year.
This looks massive.
And we didn't have the road closure.
No.
And so we didn't have, music in the middle of the street. So yeah, it's really picked up, and this is the second year, and thank you for thanking me, Ian, and thank you for everyone for coming along. We have meetings every Tuesday morning every second Tuesday morning at 8:30, and I look forward to having everybody around, because sometimes I feel like it's just me. But it's all good, and that's why I really believe in that motto, because to me it's like I'm not alone here. I really think it's a great neighborhood. I truly do. I love walking out of Aratoy and having the brightness of Connacht right beside me, and then turning the corner and having the beautiful community feel of Teapot next door, and King Street art across the way. It's just, I just think I don't know if there's another unique a block like it around the world, frankly. And I think next year it's just amazing.
I'd like to throw my hat in the ring and see if we could get some women in business there, get them involved in something.
Yeah, and let's have Spank. Let's have a band. Let's have a party.
We're a party band. That's what somebody said about us last year. Spank's a real party band. We do, and our songs are a bit off the wall.
Maybe we could have it go into the evening, or I don't know.
If you need an organizer for music, give me a shout for that kind of stuff. I'll be involved next year, honestly.
Okay. Awesome. Well, big shout out to everybody. Nick Brandon worked on the music this year, and I think one shop I forgot to say is Entice Cafe. They're working with Aratoy on the Museum Cafe. We'll have an all-female band, Novella.
Wow.
Novella will be in the courtyard. If the weather is supposed to be nice, by the way. It's supposed to be about 20 degrees.
Oh, good.
I know, I heard that this morning.
Might even be a little bit warm. I don't know. 20 isn't warm.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
Perfect weather.
Much better than last
Waldorf Cafe is having some special food out front, but I can't name everybody. Everybody's doing something.
I did see the Waldorf somewhere.
Yeah, they're having some special food out front. Monica's great, and so come and outdoor
support. Outdoor poems.
Well, that's a project that Chris Daniel put together. There are poems up at Connacht, King Street, the library, Aratoy.
Paper Plus down that area.
There is. I've seen them down there.
It goes beyond our block, but there's several on our block, and they're lovely. And she will have a new batch up. She did that first batch a couple months ago.
About that, yeah.
And so that will be replenished, similar to Anna Rutherford's Masterton and Me.
Yes.
So they'll be having new rounds.
That's fabulous. Yeah. Well, we're sort of getting to the end of the show now. There's been so much to say today. Wow. So listen, if you're watching and you want to go to the block party, all the details are on the Facebook event. You just need to put the block party, and I looked it up this morning. The block party 2018, it comes up. It's a big orange graphic. You can't miss it. Go on there. All of this information information is on the Facebook page. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. And when you come on the day, look at the posters. There will
Yes.
be the QR code. Get your phones ready to have the QR app, whatever it's called, and it'll pop up. So if you have
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And
we're trying to do that to minimize waste, really.
And that's
So,
how it should be, isn't it,
Yeah,
really? Because
yeah.
we don't need bits of paper.
yeah.
I know. And my husband hates that. He's like, no paper. So this is going to be fabulous. I'm going to come down and see it.
Yay.
And hopefully be part of it next year. So
Yay.
keep me in mind for that.
I will.
This just looks great. So make sure you get down there. Support this. You know, the more you support it, the more it happens next year. This is the way it is. If you support local art, then local art will stay alive. That's what you've got to do, isn't it? You've got to keep there. Come down and use the spaces. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting the name.
Te pā.
Te Pā. Come and see Te Pā. Come and see Connacht, King Street, Aratoy, Wyward even. Get out to those things and support them. Otherwise, they won't be there for you. Look at what happened to King Street Live.
Exactly.
You've got to be there. Okay. So you've been listening to 92.7 Arrow FM, and this has been the Nothing Personal Show with Nikki King. A big thanks to my guest this morning. You've been fabulous. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Isn't it a great team?
Thank you for having
Brilliant
us.
team. It feels so, the energy in this room is amazing. Thank you for coming.
No, thank you for having us.
And you've been listening to 92.7 RFM with Nikki King, and thank you to Jane Burns and Wairarapa Osteopathy for sponsoring our show, and my business Fuzzbox Designs. We do all sorts of digital media and all sorts of other things, websites, graphics, videos, anything, you name it, we can do it. So get in touch if you need anything. And we'll be back next week with another guest or two and some more local original music. And you can tune in at 9:30. Thanks for listening in. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.